Hi, Dr. Richard Bartlett, here to talk to you about upcoming seminars in Asheville and also in Houston. So I'll be teaching the very popular um, course called Holo-SETS, stands for Holo-Synchronous Energetic Technology Systems. And it's funny because I was awakened out of a sound sleep and my CFO said, "You've got to name this thing now so we know what to call it," and that's what came out. So don't, well, you can blame me, but don't, it was just a moment of inspiration, but it really kind of sums it up. I've had 30 years in, quote, weird energy medicine, and I've had those 30 years because I needed to help people. My son was born sick. I had people come to me all the time. I needed to help them. And so I learned things. I learned TVM. I worked with Dr. Reese. I learned many things over the years, and it became integrated. And at some point in my life, all this integration came to a single focus, not a methodology, not a technique per se, but an approach, a way of looking at information and patterns and energy, and that got organized in the idea the body does what it does for a reason. And so everything in the first day in MED is kind of a truncated form of a lot of knowledge that occurred over the last 30 years and that I taught extensively back, in the early 90s, before I even went to naturopathic school and had the quote matrix energetics experience. But the MED portion of Holo-SETS, it's working with the language. Now, we use muscle testing, but you get to the point where you don't need to use it, where you can just see it, feel it, notice it, go to the awareness of where something is. Oh, I'm on the ovaries. Well, the ovaries, how does that connect? What connects up with the thyroid? Okay, so where does it go next? It goes back to the ovaries. So we're in a locked loop between the ovaries and the thyroid, and that tells you that this circuit can't is it's like something that can't be broken. It needs help. Most of the things the body does, it doesn't need help in order to do them. It just needs to be aware. But sometimes you get locked in a linear loop of a strategic compromise based upon the desire and the need to survive. For instance, a woman's physiology uh, is actually geared for survival of the species. Men are not having babies, at least not yet, God forbid. Um, and so this very deeply set program, it's a program, will even compromise a woman's physical health in order to make sure the species survives. Whereas a man, they'll go right to having a heart attack. Now, women in this society, it's changed, and the cultural, social phenomena and stresses have changed it where the priority has, in some ways, but never really underneath, not the very deep morphic fields, but the priority shifted. So all of this you learn. You learn how to work with blood sugar, and you learn how to work with what I would call energetic imbalances, energetic incompatibilities, what some have called allergies. I don't really like the word for that, but how to balance things instantly now. Now, TBM, my great teacher, Dr. Victor Frank, was master of this. I learned this from him. I was, according to Dr. Frank, one of the best in the world, neither here nor there. The important thing is this information is based on the idea that there is a physiology, there's a structure, there's a reason and a pattern for every single thing every person does. Now, you don't have to exactly know what that is. You don't have to be right. You don't have to tell them what to do. What you're looking for is openings in a pattern. And once that pattern opens enough, the instruction starts to take place naturally again in their field, and they start to self-update. It's like you're giving a viral update or update on your computer, where it starts to auto-update. And when it auto-updates, it now knows how to make better choices in physiology and health. So this is a very easy class. You don't have to be a medical person, although it is a lot of information, even in its truncated form. So then we have something called MHRT, that's Master Harmonic Resonance Technology. Essentially, 85% of what's going on in the person's body is just noise. So it's the symptoms, the signs, all this stuff. So if you had a protocol to clear out the noise, then you see the 15% that's left. That's where you then can apply very specific technologies that we call modules. That's the Holo-SETS portion, and that's covered more extensively on the third day. But that's individuals things like liver function, blood sugar balance, correcting vaccine imprint information, even from childhood, I've found over the years that if you go, say you have a 50-year-old person with a disease, a blood sugar or diabetes or cancer pattern, and it goes to age 2 or 3, that's almost always the imprint of the informational pattern of a vaccine that gets activated, confused in the system, and then becomes some sort of a disease pattern. So anyway, these things you learn, and you can work on yourself, you can work on others, you can work at a distance, you can work on animals, you can even, James, one of our great practitioners who you'll meet at the seminar, he even worked on his, I think it was his dishwasher or something. No, it wasn't his dishwasher. Anyway, he worked on something, plumbing, and he worked on the liver of the plumbing and corrected. So this is very universally applicable. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of power, and I invite you to join us. So the seminars are going to be in Asheville. Is that South or North Carolina? I don't know. It's in Asheville, February 23rd to the 25th at the Hilton Asheville Biltmore Park Hotel. And if you can't make that one, which is going to be, it looks like it'll be a fairly small class. Most of the classes are to a small size. There's a lot of individual learning, individual attention. We work on your patterns, and we all learn from those. And then you work as well on people, and you learn from that. And a lot of healing occurs in these seminars, personal, individual healing. So then we got March 9th through 11th. That's Houston Doubletree Intercontinental Airport. I don't know why they have to call it so important. It's at the airport. So the Houston Doubletree Intercontinental Airport Hotel, and that is the same class. It'll be, although it's never the same, it'll be MEED first day, it'll be MHRT, and all these applications I talked about, and then the Holo-SETS. So it's a lot to learn, but it's also a lot of fun. It's easy to learn. You'll come away, many people tell me that it's just the most powerful seminar they've ever attended. They come away blown away, like their life has changed. We just taught the advanced seminar in Chicago, and this person came up. She was a life coach, and she told me, that's it. She's hooked. You know, she was just blown away, and she's already understanding it at more than a basic level. And this field comes in and teaches you. The beauty of these classes now, it's a very powerful field. There are very powerful things that happen, and it's a whole lot of fun. So I invite you to join me at either place or both. See you soon.